As we approach 1 year since Russia's unprovoked invasion of Ukraine that's going to happen next week, U.S. and NATO allies are reaffirming their commitment to help the war-torn country.
U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke in Brussels today, where he highlighted contributions made to Ukraine over the course of the war. He also stressed their support is for the long haul.
The world was inspired by the resilience of Ukraine's people and the courage of Ukraine's troops. Even in the face of setbacks, Ukraine has shown that it will prevail. And more countries have rushed to help Ukraine fight for its territory, its sovereignty, and its freedom.
For more, let's bring in CBS News foreign correspondent Charlie D'Agata, who joins us now from Kharkiv, Ukraine. Charlie, your story on Mornings this morning was just astounding, how close the soldiers are fighting, how close to each other. Can you talk to us about what those soldiers near the Eastern Front were telling you about?
Yeah, it was dynamic, I guess, is the best way to describe it. There was close contact fighting, as it was described to us, less than 15 yards, 15 meters, where they're throwing grenades at one another using small arms to stop the Russians from pushing forward in that area. And this is an area just north of Bakhmut, but what the Russians are doing is employing the same sort of tactics where they're trying to flood an area with as many troops and artillery as they possibly can in order to inch forward. And a lot of times when we talk about these static front lines, it gives the impression that there's nothing going on there. That's not the case. When we arrived at that front line, there were constant explosions. There was incoming and outgoing, largely artillery, but from where we were, you're within mortar range. And the soldiers that we were with were trying to warn us, saying, look, make sure you spread out, don't stay here for too long. They told us where to run for a shelter if we had incoming. It was a clear day yesterday. They were worried about drones overhead. And one of the soldiers that we were with is a mortar guy, and he said, if I had seen a group of people in a situation like this behind one of the buildings, he would have fired mortars. So that is how close it is. And the most important thing, and I know we've been saying this all the time, but it has become critical in the past few weeks, they don't just necessarily want weapons. More importantly and more specifically, they want the ammunition for the weapons that they've got, and that is largely artillery. And you heard the NATO Secretary General Stoltenberg saying they're spending weapons faster than we can provide them, and that is the case because the Russians continue to attack, continue to pile in these resources, men, equipment, artillery, long-range weapons, battering places like Bakhmut. We've seen those images, and then pushing forward. And the Ukrainians, waiting for a larger Russian offensive, are trying to keep their powder dry in a manner of speaking, knowing that there's going to be more on the way. But they are literally and genuinely running out of ammunition.
And Charlie, we're less now than 2 weeks away from marking the 1-year anniversary of this war. Oftentimes in military conflicts, those sorts of dates can be significant for offensives or et cetera. Are there particular concerns as that date approaches?
Yes, you know, Russian President Vladimir Putin loves a date.
Right.
He loves an anniversary. And it's interesting, we've been speaking to Ukrainian generals, Ukrainian commanders, saying the term anniversary sounds like you're celebrating something.
Yeah.
Certainly not for the Ukrainians. They're not celebrating anything. They're marking the year anniversary of this invasion. But what they're expecting is kind of what we've seen to a larger scale. The Russians have been shown to be capable of striking multiple cities at the same time. So, and there's no defending against a multiple cruise missile attack or aerial attack and some of the killer drones or suicide drones if they send them in all at the same time, because Ukrainians' defenses will simply be overwhelmed. Now, at the same time, they're waiting for a significant Russian offensive. So there's been a lot of talk about when the Russians are going to launch the spring offensive. Some have said this has already begun. There's certainly been an uptick along the front lines where the fighting is already taking place. But the thinking is it will be a concerted thing. There will be an attack from the south. We were told possibly aiming toward the Zaporizhia area, as we know, here in Kharkiv in the northeast, trying to push at the same time. In addition to this aerial bombardment, that is the kind of thing that they're most concerned about and really trying to defend against.
Really adding pressure to Western allies to
replenish
step
those
it up.
resources.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They're dwindling ammunition
and certainly a solemn date, not an anniversary in the traditional sense. Charlie D'Agata, thank you.